Well, good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you give me a follow on X at green_Jericho and like and subscribe to my new channel, Green's House. So, here is something that you already knew, but I'm going to say it anyway. Russia is going to win this war. There's talk amongst the mainstream mediocres, which means there's talk amongst their government handlers that Russia is winning. Russia is going to win, which means this whole money laundering scheme of sending money to Ukraine was a bunch of bullshit, just like we thought it was. One of two things is going to end up happening. They're going to negotiate an end to this war before the election to help them look better, but that means that Russia is going to get everything they wanted and probably more than they ever dreamed of, because the clowns that we have at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue have spines made out of stacked marshmallows. Or two, they're not going to negotiate a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine and then they are going to have the election. Trump's going to come in. He's going to broker a deal, a peace deal, which he would have done in the first place, and there wouldn't have been a single fucking shot fired. But that means that Russia's not going to get everything they want. They'll probably get less than what they want. And the other day, Putin already came out and said his two favorite candidates, or his two favorite politicians, is Kamala and Sloppy Joe. He was pulling for Sloppy Joe before he got removed, before he got a rag with chloroform over his nose by his own party, and the Ugandan nightmare was installed. So now our country's number one cackler, that half hyena, half human hybrid, Kamala, is now his favorite politician because she's running for president, and that's who he's going to support, because when they're in office, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. So what do you think Russia's going to want to do? Negotiate a deal with the Keystone Cops, or negotiate a deal with Donald Trump, which would give him less? So they'll probably make a deal. He'll get all kinds of shit, and the money and supplies that we sent to Ukraine was for nothing. You could have done this deal 2 years ago, before anything happened, before anybody died, before we're sending train car after train car after fucking train car of M1A1 Abrams tanks, before we sent shrink-wrapped pallets of cash and cocaine over to Ukraine, to Zelensky, so he can put on latex pants and get spanked in his high heels at our expense. This Russia-Ukraine war was a bunch of bullshit. What did they need this money for? What did our federal government need this money for? BlackRock or Vanguard or the Rothschilds or the WEF or the WHO, whoever they were funneling this money to. What did they need it for? Why did they need the American people to send hundreds of billions of dollars of tax money over to Eastern Europe? Why? Were they going to be exposed for doing something? Why did they allow this war in Ukraine to start so we could start sending hundreds of billions of dollars over there to be laundered? This was a waste of time and money, and we knew it. 50 billion here, 60 billion there, 15 billion here, 500 million there. For what? So Russia could win and get everything they want? And then some? You ever gotten to the cash register at a grocery store, and what do they ask you? Did you find everything you were looking for? And what do you say sometimes? And then some. So when Vladimir Putin finally pulls up to the cash register at USA Mart, and they ask him, Mr. Putin, did you get everything that you were looking for? He's going to say, and then some. However Russian people laugh. Putin's getting hooked up. He has some of our other enemies backing him up, sending him weapons. North Korea, Iran. They got backup too. So they're sending him a bunch of shit, everything he needs to kick the living shit out of Ukraine. Would you really be afraid of a country ran by Zelensky? No, of course you wouldn't. If Zelensky and Ukraine came to start a war with you personally at your house, you wouldn't be worried. Do you think Russia is? Hell, Russia's probably in on it. That's the real collusion. That's the real Russian collusion. They're probably in on it. Putin, Zelensky, I would say Sloppy Joe, but he don't even know what day of the week it is. But the Schumers, the Pelosi's, they probably all get together and laugh and drink and do drugs and touch each other. But outside of their meetings, it's, oh, Ukraine versus Russia. Man, they're all together. Bunch of bullshit. One of the most expensive mistakes we've ever made. We just made a $200 billion mistake in Ukraine. Russia's going to win. They're going to beat the shit out of Ukraine, or they have been, but it's going to end with them having kicked the shit out of Ukraine and gotten everything they wanted and then some. But they spent 2.5 years saying Trump was in bed with Russia. Turns out the Democrats, the left, is in bed with Russia. You know, the war machine. They're in bed with Russia. And they brought all kinds of whips and chains and lubes and shit. It's going to get weird. Tell me what the hell you think. Did you not see this shit happening 2 years ago? But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Give me a follow on X @green_Jericho, and like and subscribe to my new channel, Green's House. I am Jericho Green, and man, I'm out.